Hi, I'm Denice Gierach of the Gierach Law Firm. We run an outsourced general counsel program that really is geared towards manufacturing clients. And as part of this, I like to interview different people that work with me for many of my manufacturing clients on different aspects of things that would be helpful to our audience. So today I'd like to introduce you to Phil Marbach. Phil is with Crum Halstead, an insurance brokerage firm that is located in Geneva. And he works with a lot of manufacturers. So I've asked him to share some time with us today to go through some of the problems that he has seen other manufacturers face so that you could learn from them and hopefully prevent them going forward. So welcome, Phil. It's nice that you were taking some time to work with us here.
Yeah, thank you.
So, what are some common threats to mid-sized businesses these days from an insurance standpoint?
One of the biggest threats that we see are electronic data breaches. Everybody talks about wind and rain and fire and all that. But today, in today's world, data is a major asset that is being attacked by hackers from all over the world, and they are looking to, encrypt your data, give you ransomware, and shut down your business and ask for money to get your files back. So it's happening across the United States. Many cities are getting shut down, manufacturers are getting shut down. It doesn't make the news. It's really kept very private because nobody wants to let their customers know that they were attacked and that they're shut down. So it's a big threat that businesses face today.
So how does it come about? Is this from employees that are opening emails that are suspicious or that type of thing?
That's one of the ways it infiltrates into a business. Employees may pop open a file with an attachment to it. They're not careful. They're trying to get through their day-to-day work and look at an attachment and pop it open, and all of a sudden the virus spreads throughout the company, to servers, to PCs, to backup files, and it contaminates all of your data, which in many cases are critical assets to the success of your business.
And they could be something innocuous. I remember in a previous interview I had interviewed somebody that is on the cyber side of IT, and he was talking about how some of these emails may come from the CEO, and they said something like, oh, I'm in a meeting and you need to take care of this now, right this minute, open it right away.
Yeah.
And it could be something like that you're looking at saying, okay, I have to follow the CEO's lead here. And so you're doing something that you might have looked at differently and said, no, I shouldn't do this. But they make it look so real.
Right. This is called social engineering.
It has a name.
The insurance companies have given it a name. And yeah, it's when you receive or your controller or accounts payable person receives an email from the owner of the company or the president asking money to be transferred. And it's an emergency situation to pay a vendor or repay a bank or something like that, but it's really a fake email and being sent by someone who's hacked into your system and is spoofing your boss's email account. And people really need to be careful about how they're responding to these things. And it's really a company culture issue that we believe is really important. It's as important as corporate safety. People always talk about wearing the right, if you're manufacturing, the protective equipment, the right gloves and shoes and all that, hearing protection. But there's also this protection of the safety in your office with your office staff, making sure that they are acting safely with your data. which is so important.
So do the insurance companies, when you're placing insurance, do they would rather give insurance or replace insurance for a manufacturing client that has training programs or something of this nature?
Yeah, they will write cyber insurance, and that protects you from covering the expenses that you may incur after a cyber attack, and it also covers the expenses for what you're liable for letting that data out. Now, they do like insureds who have lots of protection, and there's in most cases, there's an application process that the insurance companies ask a lot of questions to make sure that you, as the insured or potential insured, are doing everything you can to make yourself as safe as possible from the hackers.
So if you look at in the last couple of years, I'm sure you have a story or two that you can focus on to show what the depth of this liability can actually end up being, because it can be tremendous.
Yeah.
And many people probably watching this are probably underinsured when it comes to cyber insurance, don't you think?
It astounds us at the underinsured situation that's out there for cyber incidents. No one thinks it's going to happen to them, but we see it happening. We have a recent client who on a Friday afternoon noticed that their email was getting shut down and that their data was their files were inaccessible. And then they find out that their plans, their drawings, and all that that they're working on for their customers are not accessible. And before the day is out, everything is shut down. And then they receive a ransom request that says, we'll unencrypt your files, but you need to pay us a lot of money, 6 figures. And that's where the insurance can step in and handle those expenses to get you back into operation again, put you in contact with attorneys who specialize in negotiating the ransom, so that after you pay the ransom, the hackers actually perform
what they're supposed to do.
Unencrypt, give you the way to unencrypt your files.
So there's a lot that goes into this. I mean, there are attorneys, as you say, that specialize in negotiating with these people, but no one ever expects such a big amount of money just to stay in business.
No one has $300,000 sitting around to send to the Ukraine, to the hackers, to get your business operating again. The insurance companies have that money and that cash to get that done. And they also have the experts available on a very, very short notice to help you out when you do encounter that problem and you need that expertise in order to solve the problem.
So this is, definitely one of the biggest things that, the audience really can do is, come, whether it's with their own broker or coming and seeing you, to really find out, are they underinsured? Do they have enough insurance?
Right.
Is it with the right carrier? Do they have preventative measures in place that they can get the insurance from the right carrier?
Right.
Let's talk about business interruption insurance, because I know a lot of my clients probably have very little of this.
Right. It's one of the least thought out areas that I've seen over my 20 plus years in the business. People think about rebuilding their building, getting their contents back. There's been a tornado and the manufacturing facility's been blown down, heavily destroyed, whatever. But to get your building rebuilt, it will take a year, maybe 2 years. And what are you going to do in the meantime? You want to keep your employees.
Right.
You don't want them to wander off to a competitor. You've trained them for years. They're assets of your company. You have expenses. Maybe you need to move to another building while your building is being built. Yeah. So there's a lot that goes into it. In addition to you're losing profits and the income that you would have made during that period of reconstruction can be huge. So business interruption and extra expense coverage provides that protection. Again, you need to be sure that you insure to value.
Right.
You need to really pay attention to the co-insurance clauses there. They're a little bit different than the property insurance co-insurance issues. But it's really important that you look at your business interruption coverage, have that and handle that correctly. Typically it's done with the controller or CFO who understands the income statement and balance sheet of the company.
Yeah, because that also connects in with cyber, as we had discussed earlier. If you're shut down, you don't have profits going on. So, this business interruption insurance, I think many people have overlooked this, and it really should be one of the focuses that people look at when they visit with their brokers,
right.
Like you.
Right. It's really interesting to me that when the banks loan money for a building, they'll give you the $2 million or $4 million to buy the building, and they'll make you insure it for fire and wind and rain and all that sort of thing, but they never ask for business interruption.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me.
Well, it only takes one big loss to figure out this is something that you really needed, but I don't want any of you out there to be losing your money to figure it out.
Right. Right.
Well, thanks so much, Phil. I really do appreciate your spending the time with us, and I will put your information down at the bottom of the video so people will know how to contact you. And he is a very knowledgeable insurance broker, and even if you have a broker, you might consider calling him and getting a second opinion on what you have in existing coverage. So that you actually do know, because I fear that many of my clients are in that category. Until we delve into those policies and we bring in someone like you, they may not know what they exactly have. So thanks so much again, and thanks to all of the audience for listening to us, and I hope to see you in the next video so that you can be informed on other subjects as well. Thank you so much.